Alrighty, hello everybody. What is up? Welcome. How's everybody doing today? It is Monday. That's right, the beginning of a new week for many. For me, it's actually the middle of my streaming week. I start on Fridays and work through the weekend, and actually my day off usually is a Thursday, so it's actually a little out of the ordinated. What on earth? Out of the ordinated. Let's try this again. Out of the ordinary, that, someone would have a day off in the middle of the week, but that's my only day off of the week. So technically, this is kind of like Monday is like my hump day, which is weird. I know, right? But then again, I guess that's appropriate since Monday's the first day of the week for a lot of people. First day of the work week or whatever. But anyway, welcome everyone. Today is Monday, June 24th, 2019. I am Darkside Phil. I welcome you once again to a full day of streaming here today. I'm excited and appalled at the same time. You might be saying, what on earth are you talking about, Phil? Well, ladies and gentlemen, today is going to be my final day of new release coverage of Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled. I've been playing this game for 2 straight days, once on Friday and then on Saturday. And being that I had never played this game before, ever. I never played a single game in the Crash Racing series at all. Didn't understand the gameplay mechanics or anything like that. I have found this game to be incredibly difficult. While many others are laughing at me and saying, ha ha ha, it's actually not that hard. In reality, what it is you need to understand every single mechanic of the game to even succeed at the normal difficulty level, which, I've been very strongly criticizing. For me, someone who has never played the series before, if you're going to play at normal difficulty, should it have some challenge? Yes. Should it be like balls to the wall difficult that you have to master every single track, every single speed boost? You know what I mean? Never make a mistake in order to even beat it on normal difficulty. That's kind of a very large demand for me, okay? I understand it's a classic game from the late 90s, early 2000s that was very popular, and they've just remade it for modern audiences. I get that. But at the same time, as someone who has played many different kart racing games, I've played many iterations of Mario Kart, including the original one on SNES. I just recently played Team Sonic Racing last month. This game is insane compared to any of those, alright? Like, it's just ridiculous. That being said, apparently those who are big fans of the original franchise actually quite like the remake, and that's fine, This is something you grew up with, and you understood the nuances of the game, and this is, you jump right into it. Wow, I feel like it's the same game from 20 years ago. Here we go. You probably love the game, and that's awesome, But for someone like me, it just doesn't feel very accessible, although I have been getting better at it the more I play it. And this morning, I actually got some advice from someone who is quite good at this game and who grew up playing it. And they told me the following advice. They told me 2 things, okay? First of all, essentially this game is a puzzle game. And what you mean by that is, like, you need to maintain maximum boost at all times in order to actually win races. Now, for a newcomer, it's nearly impossible because you don't know how to do that. But apparently what you need to do is on certain tracks, and it's not every track apparently, but on certain tracks in Crash Team Racing, they have strategically placed the speed boost strips on the ground so that you can either, number one, be doing the drift boost, which you could do, 3 drift boosts during each drift, and then while you're doing the drift boost and maintaining that speed, you hit the speed pad, that maintains your boost, it keeps going, and then you can drift boost again. So essentially the way they laid out certain tracks is that you never lose boost. You always have a boost. Okay? Now, the only game I've ever played that has been the case was Mario Kart on the DS. I'm trying to remember what it was called. I don't know if it was Mario Kart 7. It was the one that was exclusively for the DS handheld. Okay? Now, that game had what was called snaking. Alright? Now, what that was when you drift boosted, it would build up a certain meter of boost, and then you could actually boost into another drift boost facing the other direction. So it was kind of like fishtailing, but they called it snaking in that game. And essentially you could always have a maximum boost in that game too. So it's not like this has never happened in a racing game before. Okay, but Here's the thing, guys. When that Mario Kart was strongly criticized as one of the worst Mario Karts in the series because essentially it wasn't a racing game. It was maintain your snake boost game. That was it. Just keep maintain your snake boost. Doesn't matter what items you have. Doesn't matter what else you're doing. As long as you can keep the maximum speed boost, and you pretty much can win. And I remember that game was attempted to be played competitively because they actually, if you can believe it, had it at EVO. This was back when I was still attending EVO in like 2007, okay? They had it as an EVO tournament. Don't ask me why. Probably they just wanted Nintendo sponsorship money. And when they did it, the tournament was terrible. Like, everyone, the entire game was just snake boost, snake boost, snake boost. All right? And everyone was like, wow, this is like the worst tournament we've ever seen. What a waste of time. Essentially, from what I'm to understand, that's how Crash Team Racing is. Like, you just need to maintain maximum boost at all times. And if you don't, you lose. So, for example, in that race, the last race that I did in this game, which was against the Pinstripe boss on the Skyway racetrack, apparently, if you're good at the game and you've played it a ton, there's a way to literally 100% of that track have a maximum boost. You never lose your max boost. You start off snaking, doing the, I say snaking. You start off doing the drift boost, then another drift boost, then another drift boost, then you hit the pad, then you hit the pad, then you hit the pad, then you hit the jump, then you hit a pad, then you drift boost, drift boost, drift boost, hit the pad, see what I mean? So the whole course, you always have maximum boost. That's how you beat Pinstripe. Now, for someone like me, who, number one, didn't play the original game, all right, didn't play it, and number two, certainly doesn't have the skill required to do this on my second session ever of playing the game, how am I required to do that to beat the normal campaign of the game? You see what I mean? This is my major problem with this game. To beat the campaign, it wants you to be flawless. Don't ever make a mistake. Be perfect. Maintain maximum boost. Oh, by the way, the computer will also artificially catch up with you from time to time, so you still have to kind of come back from it anyway. And it's like, Jesus, really, this game is a game where they just beat the shit out of you, okay? So that's number one. Number two, apparently people use this strategy online. So I was actually told today when I attempt to play online, don't be discouraged if I'm playing online and there's 2 or 3 people literally 5 to 10 seconds ahead of everyone else on the course, because it's like that every match. There's basically people who played the game back in the day who understand this mechanic and they understand the tracks, how to maintain max boost, and they just do it. And it's like a race between 3 people for first, and everyone else is like 10 seconds behind because no one else knows how to do it. So essentially, as a competitive game, the game sucks. That's bad in my opinion. They shouldn't be like that. But for me, it's kind of like, well, I guess it is what it is. If it is a gimmick game, it's a gimmick game. It was designed to be a gimmick game, and if people like that, great. You know what I mean? So I guess we'll see what happens today. So what do I have left in Crash Team Racing? Essentially, this is my final session of it, because I have many other new releases coming out this week that I have to cover, and quite frankly, after 3 major sessions of a racing game, I think I've covered it enough. After today, I'll have seen all of the story mode and then some online, okay? So we're actually starting off here, all right, right at the end game, the final boss. I'm at nitrous oxide, and to give you guys some perspective, okay, it took me about an hour and a half to beat Pinstripe back on Saturday. All right, that was the next to last boss. So this person who I was talking to, who says that they were, someone who was incredibly good at this game, they were great at it back in the day, and now they've been playing it now. They said, oh, I beat Pinstripe on the first try, but it took me 3 tries to beat nitrous oxide. Oh, so if it took me 90 minutes to beat Pinstripe, it should take me about 4 hours to beat nitrous oxide then. Great. I mean, essentially, that's what I'm being told here. You know what I mean? I don't know what's going to happen here. Alexander Rossi says, what if you beat nitrous oxide in like 10 minutes, 4 hours of multiplayer? Yeah, pretty much. I'll just jump right into multiplayer and we'll just play that for the rest of the stream. I am aware there's much more to do in the game, like time trials and things like that. I just don't care about them. Once I've played through the main campaign story of the game, I'm not going back to do every single crazy optional challenge that there is in the game, okay? So I guess we'll see what happens. It's also absolutely hilarious because over the past few days, people have been basically on social media making fun of me for sucking at this game. Oh, you're so bad at games. I'm like, yeah, I'm so bad at games, except that I've beaten every Dark Souls, Sekiro. You know, I beat Sekiro quicker than most people. You know, it's not that I'm terrible at every game I play. It's that if you throw me into a situation where it's, you know, I don't have the prerequisite knowledge of what's going on, I will get absolutely dominated. It's true. In fact, I'd say the only situations where that doesn't happen to me is fighting games. Because at least in certain fighting games, I have some fundamental knowledge of how they work, and that allows me to at least play at a basic level, even if I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. But in a game like this, where I never played the original, the game is very different from Mario Kart because of the boosting mechanic. I'm completely destroyed. You know, just completely destroyed. Alright? So, it is what it is. Go ahead and make fun of me because I didn't play the original. Har. The game's hard as fuck. I don't care what anyone says. The game is ridiculously hard just on normal difficulty, and that's very different even from the classic Mario Kart games where at least you could beat it on 2 to 3 difficulty levels before you really got balls to the wall challenged. This is like, oh, normal difficulty, get good. So, my criticism still stands. My criticism is still valid. You can love the game if you want. That's okay. For me, I think the game is just too fucking difficult. And that's just my opinion. Okay? Alright, so. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can beat this final boss, Nitrous Oxide. See how long it takes. And then we're going to do online play. And that's going to be it for Crash Team Racing. You know, I've got too many new things coming up at this point to be going back to it. The only exception I would say is if I really like the online play, maybe I'll do a couple late sessions of it. But if really essentially the online play is everyone's just doing max boost the entire track, and so no one can beat them, I don't necessarily see myself playing this again. It seems to me like a game that's not very competitive, just being honest. You know, oh, the only way to actually do anything in the game is to completely 100% master every speed track boost and you get max boost the entire time. So it's the same as that Mario Kart game where all you do is master snaking. You know what I mean? You master the snaking, you just do it the whole track and you win. So that's lame to me. Alright. We'll see what happens though. Okay? So that's gonna be today. Tomorrow tonight I'm going to be doing something to calm down because I know this stream is going to be rage inducing. We all know that. We all know I'm going to flip out at how tough the game is today. We all expect this, okay? But later tonight, I purposely scheduled a stream of Minecraft. A relaxing stream where we're just going to basically build stuff around my village, add more lighting. I have a bridge I want to build, and I want to do a little bit of landscaping because I built this kind of pathway of trees that I think it overgrew, and I don't necessarily like how it looks. So I may plant some more stuff around it to make it look nicer. It's going to be a night of customization and chill stuff, okay? It's going to be a fun stream tonight. Now, also, a new thing that I'm doing with my Minecraft streams, I started this last week. When I stream Minecraft, the top contributor of the night is going to be able to get something named in the town after them. Anything of their choice. So last week, it was Nihilistic Goldfish who did a very large cheer, and they got the pier named after them. It was Nihilistic Goldfish Pier. Okay? So, we'll see, you know, tonight. How does that go? You know, I'm sure, hopefully you guys will come by and hang out and chill with me. It's more about chilling and just being interactive and talking, really, than anything else. It's not really about the gameplay, although the gameplay's fun to see me customize an entire village or whatever. But, you know, we'll see how that goes. It should be fun. It should be a fun session tonight. And we'll see who ends up getting something in the town named after them. It could be anything. It could be a building. It could be an actual person in the village. It could be an animal. It could be an inanimate object. Whatever people want can get named after them if they're the top contributor tonight. Okay? So that's going to be tonight around 6:45 p.m. Pacific time. Tomorrow, a brand new release called Judgment. It's from the same people who make Yakuza, only it's not Yakuza. They made a completely different game, even though it has a lot of the same elements as Yakuza, like combat in the streets and, you know, open world roaming in a town that's very similar to the ones from Yakuza. It's a completely different plot line, different characters, and it should be an interesting game, I think, because it's so different. So we're checking that out tomorrow as the, you know, first gameplay stream. Should be fun. All right. And then tomorrow night will be my weekly session of Black Ops 4 Blackout, my weekly Battle Royal. All right. Weekly Battle Royal. Ah, itchy. Head is itching. Sorry. Yes, I like doing Battle Royale once a week. It's a fun time. Last week, I did insanely well. I won twice and got multiple top 5 finishes. It was a really good time. That'll be tomorrow night. By the way, that's another more very interactive stream. Then on Wednesday, it'll be more Judgment. Okay, 4 more hours of Judgment, followed by more Phoenix Wright Trials and Tribulations. And, ladies and gentlemen, I might actually beat the fucking game. That's right, after playing Phoenix Wright Trials and Tribulations since early April, I actually started playing it as soon as I returned from my trip to Connecticut, which was the first week of April. Okay, I may finally finish Phoenix Wright Trials and Tribulations and be able to move on to other stuff. Let me tell you something. I would love to do that. I would love to move on to other stuff because I'm tired of it. I mean, not to say that I don't like the game. I do. I'm just tired of it. Those games, admittedly, they're too long. 40 hours of a visual novel is extremely exhausting, especially when I'm reading all the dialogue. It's very, very exhausting. So finally, it looks like that might actually conclude Wednesday night. If not, all right, then maybe one more mini session. But it looks like it's definitely going to wrap up in the next week, which is, thank God. We need a resolution and a conclusion to that to move on and do other stuff, right? Hooey. All right. Then on Thursday, it's my day off for the week. But I'll be back on Friday with 2 new releases. The Sinking City, which is an HP Lovecraftian plot-style horror game, paired with Super Mario Maker 2. Now, what order am I playing those games? I don't know. I might even put it to a poll. I'm not sure. Because, honestly, either one seems pretty interesting to me, and I'm going to play both of them on Friday regardless. I just don't know if I should do one as the mainstream or the other. I'm kind of undecided. And then whatever I do on Friday, okay, I'm going to flip that, and we're going to do that on Saturday. All right, we're going to play that on Saturday, the same games, only flipped order. Okay, that should be fun. Then on Sunday, probably more Judgment. All right, another mainstream of Judgment. And then what we're going to do is, like, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, etc., we're going to basically balance the new releases. So it'll be Sinking City and Judgment, and maybe some more Mario Maker, depending on how much there is in there. Now, one thing about Super Mario Maker 2 I want to make clear, I'm going to play the story mode of the game that's in there. I don't know how long the story mode's going to be. Being that it's Nintendo, I'm going to assume at least it has some heft to it. But once I beat the story mode of Mario Maker 2, essentially what I'm going to do is put it on hold for a week or two. And the reason I'm going to do that is because I know that some very creative people are going to head into the game and make some pretty impressive created content. This is exactly what happened with Mario Maker 1. What I would do is, like, once every few weeks, I would go back to the game and check out the new maps and stages that people had made, and it ended up being incredibly entertaining content for me to play through those, okay? So essentially, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to play the story mode and then basically take a break from it and then come back maybe once a week and see what maps have people made, what new challenge stages, etc. are in there. And that's how I'm going to approach Mario Maker 2. So it'll basically be a balance this coming week between, say, Judgment and Sinking City with some Mario Maker thrown in there. Next week, we've got new releases, too. Apparently, Apex Legends Season 2 launches next week. This is when all the dragons apparently are going to go into the fucking game. Don't ask me how that's going to factor in. And then Stranger Things, the video game, is coming out that first week of July, which will be excellent. It'll coincide with the release of Season 3 of the show, which I'm probably not even going to be able to watch, so I'll just play the game. So, we'll see how things go, all right, guys? Now, a few things. Why isn't Phil playing Bloodstained? I've already explained this a million times. I'll explain it again. Because Metroidvania games don't do well on my streams, and because I was more interested in the other new releases at this time than Bloodstained. I'm not saying I'll never play Bloodstained. I'm saying right now, it's not in the cards. Maybe later on this summer when things slow down, okay? Well, is Phil playing Samurai Showdown? I don't understand. Essentially, no. Samurai Showdown is coming out at a pretty bad time when there's other style games that I'm more interested in. Okay, I understand it's a fighting game, and fighting games are my forte, but I'm honestly not that interested in it. Although it looks decent, it doesn't seem like it's going to be a fighting game that's going to get tons of mainstream attention. And I honestly think it's just a bad time. There's too many other things going on right now that I'm more interested in. If this had come out in the middle of the summer when it was slower, I'd be all over it. But they're releasing it a week with like 4 other releases. So for me, it's kind of like, oh well. Any other time this would have been great. But it seems like they kind of screwed the pooch with the release timing. It's pretty bad. Now, essentially, what I'm saying now is based on the assumption that all the games I play in the next week are going to be good. There's a very high potential that I'll play some of these new games and they stink. And if I play a game, oh man, this game really isn't very good. I mean, then maybe I could switch over. Maybe I'll switch over to Samurai Showdown or something, right? But let's see how it goes, okay? Let's see how things go and go from there, all right? So there you go. There's your answers to the burning questions that I know you guys have. A few things, guys, before we move on to the next segment of the pre-stream. Number one, reminder that the Viewer's Choice polling has now entered week 2. And nominations have entered week 2. What I mean by that is there's going to be a Viewer's Choice event this summer. You guys, all right, are going to be nominating and then later voting on a game that I'm going to play as a full playthrough here on my streams during the summertime. All right? It's your chance right now to nominate the games you want to see me play during this event. What you need to do is head over to my website, thekingofhate.com. You need to go to the forums, in the general section of the forums. It's the thread that's featured and stickied and posted there. Nominations thread. At this point, we've got like 70 plus people who've nominated stuff, which is amazingly good. Please keep going. The more you nominate, the better this event will be. The way it's going to work is that poll will be open that nominations thread will be open for 1 more week. And then next weekend, I'm going to close it off, all right? And I'm going to tally up the nominations and figure out what were the most nominated games. The games that were nominated the most will enter a poll that then people will vote on for roughly a week or so to determine what game will be the Viewer's Choice game of the summer. All right? I'm excited for this. I hope you guys are too. It's a great thing when it happens. It usually, we've never done a open Viewer's Choice before. We've done Patron's Choice in the past, where only people who pledged to my Patreon could nominate and vote. And we've got some interesting playthroughs based off of those, including the Yakuza series, the Persona series, Super Mario Sunshine, Sonic 2006, the Spyro series, amongst many other games like Simpsons Hit and Run, etc. So we've had many great playthroughs over the years as a result of these kind of choice events. But this is the first time I'm doing an open Viewer's Choice. So please head over there. You got a week left. Please go nominate. Nominate. The more you nominate, the better the event will be. Okay? There you go. Okay. Also, guys, I've been talking about this for the past week or so. Seems like an idea people like, so I think I may check it out tomorrow. I'm thinking of doing an Amazon wish list for supplies/games for streams. And what I mean by that is right now, sadly, financially, things are terrible for me. And it's tough for me to even afford the games that I need to purchase to keep my streams going. This week in particular, I have to buy 3 games in the next few days. So what I'm thinking of doing is creating an Amazon wish list of the games for streaming. And what this will do is just list right there, oh, you want to help fill out, buy one of the games for the next month that he's interested in playing. And if you purchase it right from the list for me, I'll get the digital code, ahead of time and be able to install these games ahead of time, and they'll just be there for the streams. And, that's a great way to help out. The other thing about this is it's the full purchase price of the game plus sales tax and everything, so I don't have to worry about, oh, someone's donating a game, but the game's $40. They sent me $40, but, oh, by the way, it didn't cover tax. Oh, by the way, I have to pay tax now on, on what they sent me. You see what I mean? Like, this way you could just buy it, I install it, done. It's an easy way to do it. I'm also thinking of just putting up a few things there, like, for example, PlayStation Network codes for just credit, miscellaneous credit for PlayStation Network. So that way, if a game pops up out of nowhere, which is what's happened, take a look at some of the games that have popped up out of nowhere, that people are like, oh, Phil, you going to play this? And like, oh, I didn't even hear about it. Well, this will be an opportunity for people to maybe just buy some miscellaneous credit and send it my way. So if I don't necessarily get a game completely donated, instead I could just afford the game and buy it that way. You see what I mean? So it's only going to be things for streams. That's it. It's not going to be things outside of the streaming or anything like that. It's just going to be things for my stream so that it helps me afford the cost of doing this. I've never done anything like this before. But as I mentioned it last week, some people were like, we think this would actually be a great idea because people could just go there, see the games you're interested in playing, and if they're interested in seeing you play one, they could help out by buying it for you, rather than, oh, Phil, what should I do? Can I miscellaneously tip you on a stream for you to buy this game or whatever? And it becomes a convoluted mess. Okay? How will I avoid people buying me the same game repeatedly? Well, here's the thing. That's a great question, actually. The way that the Amazon wishlist works, it lists the things that you desire, and when someone buys one, it clears it off the list. So let's say, perfect example, this week, let's say I made a list for Judgment, Sinking City, and Super Mario Maker 2. Well, someone says, oh, I really want to see Phil play Super Mario Maker 2, I'll get that for him, and they buy it, it clears it off the list. So now it's not there anymore as something I'm looking for, and no one else will buy it and double buy the game. You see what I mean? It's kind of like any registry. They do different kind of registries, wedding registries, baby registries, etc. It's basically the same thing, only on Amazon, and I'm going to be doing it only for games. All right? Now, maybe in the future, if I have hardware requirements, for example, oh God, my controller's breaking, I really need a new controller, I could list it like a controller or something on there too. You see what I mean? I think this would be a good way, as things are, progress on, and maybe I need something different for the business, that I could list it on there, and if someone's generous, they could think, okay, I'll get someone if he feels something new that he needs, right? A replacement or whatever. But I'm not going to go crazy. Like someone was like, oh, Phil wants a new laptop, you should list that on there. I'm not doing that. If my laptop breaks and I absolutely need a new laptop, okay, that's something different. But I'm not going to start putting crazy upgrades and shit on there that I don't need. Right now, I'm okay with my setup. Everything works. Last year we had an extenuating circumstance where my PS4 was dying for like 4 months, and someone was very generous and donated a PS4 Pro to me. You see what I mean? That would be a perfect example. If a piece of hardware is dying, and you guys are seeing the negative effects of it every day on a stream, then I could put up a requirement, oh man, if someone wants to get me a replacement, you see what I mean? So there you go. Dude Frozen says, you're going to put up games there that you're going to play no matter what. Yeah, that's essentially what it is. I'm not going to list every new release. That's stupid and selfish. Imagine if I listed every new release game and then half of them I don't play. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to list just games that basically I'm committing to at least playing and trying out as a playthrough. Not to say that I'm 100% saying I'm going to always play the whole game, especially if it's a game I hate. But the games that I'm very interested in playing will be the ones listed up there. Okay? Is the wish list against Twitch terms of service? No. The Twitch list has nothing to do with Twitch terms of service at all. Nothing. This is completely separate from anything like that at all. It has nothing to do with Twitch. In fact, people get all these weird misconceptions. The only thing that Twitch has regulations against is, number one, it's bits, like things with bits, okay? You can't do anything with bits. Bits basically are not monetary currency at all. They're not. And Twitch basically says you cannot be doing any kind of, you can't do, for example, an event where you have let's raise this amount of bits today. You can't do that kind of stuff. That's against Twitch's terms of service. Stuff like that. All right. At least from what I understand, from what I'm to understand from reading Twitch. And then also, you can't say, oh, I'm doing a charity event, but you keep the money. You know what I mean? Like, you can't do that. You can't do that kind of shit. You have to whenever you're going to say something is going on a stream, you have to be fully transparent. So, for example, if I'm saying today we're doing a tips fundraiser and the tips are being raised in order for you to help me out with a certain financial situation, that's perfectly acceptable via Twitch. There's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. If you say, okay, I have an Amazon wish list of supplies for the streams, and if you guys would like to buy them and help out the streams, you can. That's perfectly acceptable. You see what I mean? But Twitch will not allow you to do anything with bits, and you cannot be deceptive and say it's for one thing and basically lie and then do something else. That's the only thing that Twitch is against. That's why people are so confused. Like, why is it Phil violates Twitch terms of service all the time, and he's always allowed to stay? I never violated Twitch's terms of service ever, not once. In fact, the only times that ever there was any kind of trouble was one time I referenced how someone looked on a stream, and one time I said that we were going to do kind of, I think I said a fundraiser that was going to include bits, which you can't do. Like I just explained, you can't do anything regarding bits. Those were the 2 times ever that Twitch came to me and said, all right, you're in trouble, you can't do that stuff, you know? But, you know, I have been, like I said, I pay attention to Twitch's terms of service, you know? You don't have to worry about that stuff. I pay attention to what I'm doing. That's why I never get in trouble with any of this stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah, but people are just ridiculous. They always, oh, Phil's violated, blah, blah. I haven't violated anything. I never violate anything. That's why I'm fine. That's why when people don't seem to understand that when you mass report someone, it actually has the negative effect. Like the opposite effect. Like people mass report me falsely all the time for violating Twitch's terms of service when I never do. Trust me, I know what I'm doing. You know, I want to stay here. I love streaming on Twitch. They've been nothing but kind to me since I came back, you know, over 2 years ago. And I want to keep that positive relationship going with them. So it's hilarious to me that people constantly mass report me falsely to them, all right, and say, oh, you know, he's doing this, he's doing this. I'm never violated anything. So when you mass report me, you actually make Twitch say, well, it's more assholes, and they just ignore it. What do you think was going to happen? You know, it's so stupid. I just don't understand. It's so dumb. So anyway, guys. Yes, I'm thinking of doing an Amazon wish list. I may look into it. I'm thinking tomorrow. I can't do it tonight. I'm thinking tomorrow night. I may look into it and see how to set it up. And I think it would actually help tremendously. It would be a way for, you know, longtime fans and viewers to support and make sure that I can play the games that are coming up. And take a little bit of the burden off of me of having to buy everything individually via tips and stuff, which is what I've been doing. Basically, any tip funds that come in, they buy the games, you know. So it would take a little bit of that pressure off of me too. So I guess we'll see how things go. Okay. So guys, let's now get to the gratuitous plug segment. All right, and then we will get to the shout out segment, and then we will begin. So thank you guys for over, at this point, almost 11 full years, but over 10 years of support where I've been able on a daily basis to share my gameplay experiences with you, and you guys have chosen to hang out with me, whether it was for quite a long time there on YouTube, and now it's, you know, as a full-time streamer on Twitch. Thanks for chilling with me every day. Thanks for enjoying that interactive experience that we now have. I appreciate that very much. You know, there's been highs and lows for sure. You know, I used to be a full-time YouTuber from the years of 2011 through 2017. And then when the YouTube ad revenue bubble burst and basically it became completely unviable to maintain any kind of a business on YouTube after that, I became a full-time streamer here on Twitch. Quite frankly, I think it was one of the best decisions I've ever made. I love doing this more than I ever did doing the offline videos for YouTube. I really do. I like the interactions we have every day. I think it's a more fun and organic experience, and I love coming to work every day. I do. I love streaming. It's amazing. It's the best thing I've ever done in my life. I like I said, this is better to me than when I used to just do the offline videos. I love doing this more. That being said, I'm now reliant pretty much almost solely on your support via streaming because YouTube ad revenue is so just ridiculously bad that no matter what I do over there, you know, it just doesn't help anything. I really need to focus on streaming, and so it's your support during streams that allow me to keep doing this. So if you love the full daily live streams that I do here, if you love the longer on-demand style videos I do on YouTube over on DSPGaming when I archive these streams, and you want to see this continue, all right, please, by all means, consider contributing via one of the methods I'm about to mention. Now, I want to say this up front. Contributions are greatly appreciated. Contributions keep things going around here, but they're not mandatory. I enjoy just hanging out with you guys on a daily basis and having people here to interact with me and have fun and laugh at my fails and laugh together at funny moments in gaming and everything, to see my rage. I love it, all right? But it is those contributions that keep things going, so thank you to anyone who does go above and beyond, okay? Let's talk a little bit about those contributions. The first would be checking out my Patreon over at patreon.com/darksidephil, where your monthly pledges earn you personal perks. This month in particular, those who were $5 pledgees are getting priority access to the Viewer's Choice event. They're able to nominate on games right now and then vote on a game. It's basically going to become one of the games in the final poll, it skips the whole major nominations process. So you may have like 4 people who nominate games, and one of the games they nominate is going to get to the final poll. It skips the whole major nominations process just because they're patrons, okay? That's pretty neat. There's also many other perks you can get for being a patron. I won't go into them, but please check it out. Patreon.com/DarkSidePhil. Thanks to anyone who is a current patron, and thanks for, considering it, all right? Thank you very much. Number 2, please check out my Teespring shop where I sell all kinds of fun merchandise, including custom t-shirts. In fact, today, I'm wearing one of said custom t-shirts. It's the I'm Pressing Button shirt that typically I wear for fighting games, but every once in a while I'll wear it for another game too, like today, a racing game. Many different designs over there. Anything you buy helps me out. You get a cool collectible. I can personally attest to the quality because I own a bunch of them. They don't wear out. They're really high quality stuff. Teespring.com/stores/DSPGaming. And thanks to anyone who buys anything. I think in the past week, actually, I actually think that that was someone bought something in the last 2 or 3 days. So thanks for that. Now, if you're here live on the stream and you would like to contribute during the live stream, all right, I will give you a verbal shout out for either cheering, subbing, or tipping. All right, pretty cool. Now, keep in mind, I'm playing a racing game, which means more than likely I can't give you a shout out during the race, but in between races, I'll be giving shout outs and the like for your contributions. All right, in addition, I have a Stream Stats leaderboard that lists the top cheerer and top tipper of the stream. So it's an extra opportunity for you to get noticed and get recognition for your contributions. Now, keep in mind, what I say and do on my streams is very subjective. I control the streams ultimately. There's no obligation whatsoever for me to say anything for any contribution. And in addition, I have to abide by Twitch's terms of service with what we say and do on the streams, which means we're going to keep out of very, very controversial, dramatic topics like politics and religion. We're not going to insult others. We're not going to bring up insults against myself or other streamers. We're not going to insult other stream chatters. We're not going to bring up dramatic topics like, oh, did you hear that this guy did this and that? Like, stupid gossip and hearsay and just nonsense. We're not going to be bringing up detractor memes against myself or other streamers. It's all stupid shit. Doesn't belong on this stream. This stream is supposed to be a chill, fun gameplay stream where we can all laugh at my failures, we can enjoy my successes, we can have a fun, chill, interactive time together. It's not about all that drama shit. You want that shit? There's plenty of other places on the internet that love it, and they abide by it, they live it. That's all they do. They eat up that drama crap, and that's how they live. That's not me. So go over there, if that's what you're looking for. Here, we're just going to have a chill, fun gaming time. All right? Fair enough? Alrighty then. Now, as you can see, we actually had a surge of subs recently, which I want to say thanks to anyone who did subscribe in the last couple of days, because we were way down and then we jumped back up. That's pretty cool. Right now, cheering, subbing, and tipping, everything's great. Everything helps me out. But in the short term, if you want to help me out more than anything, please tip me. The reason I say that, because right now with the cost of not only 3 games this coming week, but then there's so many games coming out in July, including Stranger Things, Dragon Quest Builders 2, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, Wolfenstein Youngblood, among others. That's only the 4 major releases, but there's actually other games coming out in July as well. That's a lot of money investment for me. And with things being so financially tight, your tips are going to help out with that tremendously. So please consider tipping me today on stream. It's the best way to support. And if you want to tip, there's 2 ways you can do it. Below the stream, there's a tips jar button you can click, or you can just type !tip into the stream chat. Either way, you'll bring up a link here or bring you straight to my PayPal tips page. When you tip me, you can either use your real name or you can use a made-up name if you want to remain anonymous and not have anyone know that it was you that did it. I know some people are afraid of online trolling and the like for contributing to a streamer. You completely make up an anonymous name or a different name. No one will know it's you. In addition, you don't need a PayPal account to tip. That's a misconception. You can just use a debit or credit card right there on the PayPal page. It's very easy to do. Okay, guys? Fair enough. Now it is time. That's right. It is time for the shout-outs. For those who have already contributed, let's give some credit where credit is due. Okay? All right. Here we go. So. Oh, my God. Okay, here we go. I locked up a little bit. So, overnight, I received a $1.50 tip from Westside Rascal. Thank you for that overnight tip, Westside Rascal. That is much appreciated. When the stream very first started, the first cheerer that we had today was Pragmatic Tactician, who said, I said I'll be back, and just like that I returned. Good to see you more often, Phil. Keep up the hard and fine work. Thank you, Pragmatic Tactician. Then he cheered again and said, sorry about the long cheers the other day, by the way. No worries. No worries. As long as your cheers are entertaining, on topic, or, you know, they actually incite some fun discussion that's not, you know, drama, I'm all for them. So go right ahead and send me the long cheers. Just try to refrain from, like, 14-sentence paragraphs. That's a little bit derailing. But outside of that, your cheers have been fine. Thank you very much, sir. Or madam, because I don't know your gender. And in 2019, God forbid that you misgender somebody. Okay. Continuing on, shout out to Roxanne, who did a 100-bit cheer right at the beginning of the stream. And that is actually, so far, the biggest cheer of the day. Let's get Roxanne up on the leaderboard, shall we? Roxanne. There we go. Thank you very much. 100-bit cheer. All right, then an anonymous gifter gifted a tier 1 sub to Luther Cujo. Congrats, Luther Cujo, and thank you to the anonymous gifter. Geodude also resubscribed for 4 months. Thank you, Geodude, for 4 months of support. Rob, what's going on, Rob? Good to see you on the stream. Welcome back. He tipped me $5, and he says, would it be possible to use English voice acting for the Judgment playthrough? Please, as I know that some people felt alienated by the Sekiro one. Just a friendly suggestion. What do you guys think? You guys, would you prefer the English voice actors for Judgment? I'm not against it at all. I know typically for Yakuza, I use the Japanese voice acting. I'm okay with that. If you guys want English voice actors, hey, listen, I'm certainly not going to complain when I'm playing a game where I have to read every line of dialogue because there's zero spoken dialogue. I would much rather just let the game speak for itself. All right, the vast majority of people are saying use English. Some people are saying the sub's better than dub. I mean, the thing is, I tend to agree with you. If I watch a movie that I know is native to a different language, I usually play it in the different language and use subtitles. But if people are basically saying we really want the English voices, I think I'm okay with that. Okay? All right, more than likely we're going to do that then. Thank you, Rob, for the suggestion. More than likely we'll go with that tomorrow. Apparently the side missions are only in Japanese. Only the story missions are dubbed. Well, I guess we'll do it. We'll do it like that then. That will actually be pretty funny if it's a mix. That would be pretty funny. All right, so Cam Jersey did a 50-bit cheer. Says, evening, Phil. Remember the mission when you had to take pictures of Martinez on Grand Theft Auto Vice City Stories Funny Times? No, not at all. Vice City Stories. Fuck. No, I don't really remember that. I'll be honest, you know. Vice City Stories, I remember the worst part was that the game bugged out. Remember that was when you had Lance Vance, but he was younger. He wasn't the modern Lance Vance. He was like the up-and-coming Lance Vance. And he got stuck in a fucking alleyway. I couldn't get him out. And the game was buggy as shit. Remember we had guys were glitched shooting out of a window. They wouldn't stop shooting for no reason. They were shooting at nothing. I remember that game being pretty buggy. I don't remember the pictures mission, though, so... Pragmatic Tactician cheered. He says, you were bad at games. Didn't you one-round Ishin in Sekiro? No, I think it was 3. I think it was because I needed to get to his second form. So, the first 2 times, you know, I only got to his first form and he killed me. Basically, when I got to his second form, I one-shotted him. Which a lot of people were like, oh my god, how did he do that? I bullied his ass. I parried, I bullied. I used my ability to break his stance, you know, I staggered him basically, broke his guard, and did monster damage to him, and he couldn't really do anything. So, yeah, it was like 3rd time, I think? Yeah. Alright, let's continue. Jesus was a brother man. Timmy $1 says, why do you constantly do the T-pose for the most minuscule things? I'm religious and from Brazil, and I'm highly offended for you doing a religious pose anytime someone donates $100 to you. First of all, I don't think the T-pose is a religious pose. The T-pose is a pose referencing a generic stance for game development. When you have a character who's a humanoid character, the default pose is a T because the body is shaped like a T. Has nothing to do with religion and a crucifix or anything like that. Number 2, I don't do it for $100 tips. I don't know what you're talking about. Basically, you're completely off base. I think this was an attempt at trying to, like, make a joke, and it's not working. So I thank you for the $1 tip. Real Gamer tipped me $1. He says, you're afraid to play Bloodstained, and you're afraid to play Samurai Showdown. Admit it. You're absolutely right. I am absolutely terrified As you know, I'm one of these screaming ninnies, and I know that if I played Bloodstained, I every 5 seconds would be screaming at my webcam in shrieking fear to get extra generated views, and therefore that's why I'm not playing it. You're right. The G-Man tipped me $5. He says, if you do the Amazon wish list, add stuff other than games, such as computer parts. You never know when someone might feel generous to get you a component. Wouldn't hurt to just have it there. In time, you could get all the parts for a gaming PC, and then save on PC games with cheap key codes. G-Man, the thing is, I've not built a computer since the mid-2000s. That was a long time ago. All right, and I'm not saying essentially that the major build of computers has changed. I'm sure it's probably the same thing. You got your motherboard, you got your processor that goes into your heatsink, you got your RAM slots, you got your slots that you plug in your graphics card, your sound card, you know, your hard drive has to plug into there somewhere. You got your drive docks for CDs, Blu-rays, etc. I'm pretty sure it's the same thing. But I haven't done it in 15 years. I think it would be pretty dishonest for me to start asking for random computer components, especially when I have no idea what to ask for because I'm not in the know about that stuff anymore. And then someone just buys me random computer components that sit around and I can't use because I don't know what the fuck to do with them. Or even worse, I try to do something and I break them. You know what I mean? I think that would be pretty bad. I really don't want to go into that and delve in that. I think that's too much of an irresponsible risk. So therefore, the answer for that one would be no. However, as I said, other things such as my controller's breaking, I'd like a replacement controller, right? Or things like that I think are essential to the business. Yeah, those things I would list on there. So there you go. All right, so thank you for the $5 tip, the G-Man. Real American History. Timmy $1 says the Elvis Presley Italian Mamba Italiano wannabe would rather play Mafioso Mario Maker instead of Samurai Showdown. Wow, what a great former fighting game pro. Shaking my head. Well, even though I have played Samurai Showdown 1 through 5, all in arcades, by the way, because they all were arcade releases back in the day, I never played them at a competitive level at all. I never really learned that game at a competitive level. I never tried to play it at a competitive level. It was always kind of a casual game for me. Back in the day, the appeal of Samurai Showdown was blood. This was the era of Mortal Kombat being huge. And SNK games at that time didn't really have blood. So SNK made Samurai Showdown a game where you could slash someone and big spurts of blood would erupt out of their bodies. And sometimes you could do, at the end of the round, an execution move that would chop their body in half. And it was very stylized, but it was very gory and people liked that. Okay, that was really the appeal of the original Samurai Showdown games. Samurai Showdown has not been around for quite some time. It's not been taken seriously as a fighting game franchise for quite some time. This game coming out is kind of an oddity. And honestly, even though I know people in the fighting game community will cover it since it's a new fighting game release and that's kind of their forte, for me, it's kind of like, what would I do? Play it a few times, play through the story mode, play it a few times, do a little bit of online, and it would probably lose traction within a week or two. Like, it wouldn't be something that would be super interesting, I don't think. I'm not saying it's a bad game. I'm just saying, like I said, this would be a game I would be all over if this were any other week this summer where there's like only one release or no releases. They decided to release this game a week when there's like 4 other major releases. Crash Team Racing, Judgment, Sinking City, and Super Mario Maker 2 the same week. Like, they couldn't look at the fucking release schedule and say, gee, maybe this is a stupid idea. We're re-releasing a game that hasn't been around in like a decade as a new reboot kind of a thing. Let's do it at a time when we don't have competition. They didn't do that. Again, it's just bad timing. So, will I eventually maybe look into it? Yes, but much like Bloodstained, I'm just not very interested right now. Okay? Kanji Monster cheered and is wondering the tax ramifications of an Amazon wish list. It depends. Essentially, things that are bought on an Amazon wish list are considered gifts. Okay? And there are different tax qualifications for gifts, depending on where you live and depending on what kind of gifts they are, monetary versus actual items that are given to you. Last time I looked into it, and this was years ago, okay, it was $10,000. And what I mean by that is, like, you can receive up to $10,000 value of gifts before you actually have to pay taxes on it in a given year. But that could be changed by now. Let me put it this way. every single thing that I receive, whether it's a donation like, oh, someone gifts me a game, someone gifts me a console, or if someone sends me a tip on a stream, cheering and subbing, you know, the ad revenue I make from YouTube, Patreon pledges, and or anything else I may make as income. I report all of that to my tax guy, and he figures it out. It's the tax code is far too complicated for someone like me to figure out when I have so many sources of income. He figures it out, and I pay tax on what I owe. So I have no clue if doing an Amazon wish list would or wouldn't benefit me tax-wise. There's no way to figure it out, and it's not my place to figure it out. Essentially, you know, right now I'm paying tax on every single tip that you guys give me to buy this stuff anyway. So if I have to pay tax on the things that you guys would get me on an Amazon wish list, that's no different from what I do now. You see what I mean? So I'm used to it anyway. Okay? But the bottom line is, no one really cares besides you. So there you go. Gabriel KO has resub for 30 months. Thank you very much, Gabriel KO, for the 30-month resub. Continuing on here. Hold on a second. My main man just did a 50-bit cheer. It says, I'm sorry, Phil, but Dr. Disrespect isn't the only person who made mistakes on stream. We forgave you, so you for sure forgive him. Blah, blah. Dude, you're the only person still talking about Dr. Disrespect. Like, that's like 2 weeks old news. No one cares anymore. I don't care anymore. That was something that happened 2 weeks ago. Like, it's so in the past. I don't give a shit about it anymore. If he comes back to Twitch, great. If he doesn't, who cares? It has nothing to do with my content or my streams at all. So, if you like Dr. Disrespect, great. Be a fan of him. If you don't like him, great. Don't be a fan of him. I don't care. You don't have to keep bringing it up on my streams. It's completely outdated news. I have no desire to talk about it anymore. Okay? Fast food is healthy. Tip me $1, saying that my disgusting loud burps are a violation of Twitch's terms of service. Sir, if that was true, I would have been banned the first day that I ever streamed on Twitch. So I'm pretty sure it's not. I mean, I've been streaming on Twitch since 2013. And that first day, I probably belched the most disgusting belch ever. Vomited, profusely on the stream. And I'm still here. 6 years later, I'm pretty sure it's not against Twitch's terms of service. So there you go. Vote Democrat did a 222-bit cheer. And that means that he's the top cheerer of the day. He says the following. I'm sure you've experienced this before. Any reason you call contributions tips, every other streamer calls them donations. Sure, because a donation is different than a tip when you classify it for taxes. And essentially anything that you receive on a stream is a tip, not a donation. I'm going to repeat that. Per the U.S. legal code of taxation, anything you receive on a stream is a tip, not a donation. A donation is considered something given with nothing expected in return towards some kind of a non-for-profit cause. So if you're donating towards cancer research, if you're donating towards building a non-profit housing for low-income families, or you're donating to Habitat for Humanity to build houses for low-income families, etc., that's different than giving a tip to someone who is a for-profit business. I am very much a for-profit business. You know what I mean? I am. I admit it. It's me. I make money. The money that I make, the profit I make, pays for the things around here, like my life, right? Everyone knows that. So if there are other streamers classifying tips as donations, number one, that's completely false per the law. Number two, if they're actually considering them donations for tax purposes and they're not paying taxes on those, they're actually violating tax law. And if they ever get audited, they're completely and utterly fucked. I mean that. Like, they will be 100% fucked. They will be billed back taxes for all those donations that they received over the years, and there's no way they'll be able to afford paying it because there's going to be fees, there's going to be interest, there's going to be a ginormous amount of shit slammed against them, okay? Now, I don't know anything about how other streamers do it, but I'm just going off of what Vote Democrat said in this cheer. But I'm just telling you, if they're not doing it right, they're going to get in trouble. I know that I'm doing it right. I classify since day one when I accepted a tip, it was classified as a tip. It wasn't classified as a donation. So I'm paying taxes on all that, and that's why I pay so many goddamn taxes, quite frankly. Okay? All right. Let's continue. Kim Jong-un tipped me $5. And he says that your stream must stay in compliance with the Juche ideology of North Korea or you will be sent to a re-education camp. Oh, brother. Well, I guess I'm on my way. You might as well send your military police out here. Okay, let's continue again. My main man cheered. He says, do you think we will ever get a Bully 2? Yes, it's in development. It was leaked many years ago it's in development because they were looking for voice actors for it. And it was, a game where you're going to be at a university and you're going to play the role of one of the university teachers. I wonder what game franchise Rockstar's working on that they would be looking for voice actors for that. And that was, I think, 2-3 years ago that leaked. So they're definitely working on Bully 2. It's happening. All right. My main man cheered again. He said, where the hell have Rocksteady been the last 4 years? No announcements or anything. Another Batman game? I don't know. It's a good point. You're absolutely right. Since Batman Arkham Knight, there really hasn't been anything else. And it's obvious they're working on something. This is a studio that was pumping out Batman games every few years and making insane amounts of money. They didn't just retire and go home to roll around in their money. They're obviously making another game. We just don't know yet. I guess they're waiting. Right? I guess they're waiting. So let's see what happens. But I'm excited for whatever they're doing. Kanji Monster cheered and he said, hold on. Do you think you could add a subtitle bot for the stream for the hearing impaired? No. Kamori the Bat tipped me $1. Says, I wanted to tell you that the online play in CTR is really fun. I've been playing it for a while. I hope I run into you in an online match. Much better than a single player campaign. All right. Sounds good, Kamori the Bat. Thank you for the $1 tip. I'm looking forward to it. I just got to beat the final boss today and then I can actually get to it. All right. My main man cheered again. He says, people are whining and complaining about the new Avengers game because it's not like the movies. I want a fresh, new, separate story, but that's just me, I guess. I agree. I think that people are so used to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. They're looking for Marvel Cinematic Universe, now especially because the Avengers plotline is over. Oh, I want more. Well, it's over, I, for one, am for a Marvel video game universe where all the video games would be cross over into a cool interconnected plot line. I think that would be sweet. I don't know if that would happen because unlike movies, games can flop, games can get delayed. You know what I mean? So I don't necessarily know if that's going to work, but I think it would be cool. My main man cheered again. He says, I am an avid Crash fan. I can tell you for some reason Vicarious Visions made the Crash trilogy and racing much harder than the originals. I can't tell you why. Well, from what I've heard, most people have said that's not the truth. That this is just as hard as the original. But if you're saying it's harder, then I guess that's your opinion. I have no frame of reference to confirm or deny what you're saying. So, all right, Kanji Monster cheered. He said you could look up a how to build a computer YouTube video and copy all the parts. It's really simple in the modern era PC building. Great, I could. I'm not going to, but I guess I could. Ivana Bendover cheered and said, hey, Phil, is your refrigerator running? Ho, 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 ho. Hilarious joke. The G-Man tipped me $3. Said, dude, building a PC is easy. Hell, even CPU heatsinks come already with thermal paste pre-applied. I highly suggest you put up PC parts. It would save you money in the long run, give you access to more games, and improve streaming IQ. Wouldn't hurt, just saying. All right. Thank you for the $3 tip, G-Man. It's Mr. Ben 6. Did a 225-bit cheer. That makes him the top cheerer of the day. He's surpassed Vote Democrat. By the way, if you guys haven't noticed, the cheering leaderboard reset overnight. It always resets on Mondays. So, great opportunity today, guys, if you want to get noticed for being the top cheerer. It certainly wouldn't take that much. All right? So, thank you. It's Mr. Ben. You're the top cheerer of the day so far. And, you're now up on the leaderboard. Congrats. You beat Vote Democrat. All right, continuing on here. Kanji Monster tipped me $1. He says, your tip alert literally says donated. Better be careful or the IRS may be coming for you. No, because it doesn't matter what the hell it says on stream. It matters how you report it. And I reported all his tips. So, it's all tips. I'm not sure how to change that wording if you even can. I have it listed to say tips in Streamlabs. But apparently it doesn't change the on-screen notification. I'm not sure if you can actually change the wording. I guess I could look into that. Yeah, I have to look into that, so. Okay, Dolphin Splash cheered. He said, will you be ending Crash Team Racing Adventure Mode after beating Nitrous Oxide? You'll have time trial races to do before you actually beat the game. Those are solo races that don't have to worry about AI and power-ups. Maybe CTR could be more chill streams. No. I've had enough. The normal difficulty was enough pain and torture for me. I literally have no desire to play this fucking game again after today. And that's because the game beat me up. If the game didn't beat the shit out of me the way it did the past few days, maybe I'd want to play it again. I don't want to play it again. I'm serious. Like, the game caused so much stress for me just to beat the normal campaign. I don't fucking want to play it anymore. And I'm sorry, that's the fault of the game devs for making normal mode so difficult. I just don't want to play it again. I want to beat the boss. I want to do some online. And that's it. I seriously don't want to play it again. So, there you go. Super Doll Golf, tip of the $1, says, you still get people coming to your door like Jehovah's Witnesses and political campaigners, despite the fact that you live in a gated community. No, because it's illegal. They have no right to come onto our street because it's a gated community. If they take one step inside without being invited, they have broken the law and can actually go to jail. So, it's trespassing. So, no, we don't get any of that solicitation at all. Solicitation is not allowed here where I live, which is great. Oh, hold on. It was a $1 tip, right? There we go. Rob Bass Jr. has resubbed for 6 months. He says, 6 months, baby. Very nice. All right. Let's go ahead and check on sub count. 500. We're up to 500 subs, everybody. Thank you very much. Let me go ahead and get this updated. Thank you, everyone. We're back up to 5... What the hell? My keyboard stopped working. Hold on. We're back up to 500 subs, which is great. You know, we dipped there for a while, and I was a little nervous. Not really. I really don't get nervous about subs. They usually they fluctuate, and they go up and down all the time. So 500 subs, we're back up. And the thing is, this week, with all the new releases, we may see more people coming back who haven't been around for a while, which would be pretty neat. So, you know, maybe even see even more. Very nice. DevKit just did a 400-bit cheer, biggest cheer of the day, and said, if you get Marvel Ultimate Alliance, it's online co-op with friends online. It would be cool to help out in the game, as every Marvel character I'll be getting in the game. I am getting it 100%. I love the Marvel Ultimate Alliance series. Okay, I am planning on doing a co-op. Okay, and yes, I will be looking forward to doing co-op with people. You know, on stream for that week when it comes out. I'm not sure how long the game is going to be. Typically, those games are, I think, around 12 hours long, something like that. I don't know if this one's any longer. But I am looking to do full co-op, all right? However, there's no voice chat on Nintendo Switch, so it just is what it is. We'll just have to do 4-player co-op with no voice chat. And what's going to happen is in early July... excuse me. There we go. I was trying to clear my throat. In early July, I'll start talking about it. I'll start hyping the the co-op playthrough, and I'll start looking for co-op partners, all right? And what I'll be doing is taking people's applications, essentially, people emailing me and sending me their info and saying, okay, you know, here's when I'm available, here's my Nintendo ID or whatever. And what I'll do is, you know, a couple days beforehand of Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, I'll set it up, I'll get those people on my friends list, so we can get people invited and we can do full co-op of the game. All right? I am planning. That's exactly how I want to do it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Okay? And I'm very excited. So, I hope that you guys will check out that playthrough in July. It should be pretty hype. Okay? Kyle has tipped me $2 and says, I just subbed for the first time through Prime, but it didn't show up for some reason. Well, the way it works, Kyle, FYI, if you're a first-time subber, you might not realize this. It doesn't just pop up. What happens is you're going to be on stream, and at some point, you're going to get a pop-up message that's going to say, oh, celebrate that you've subscribed to this person by clicking here, and it'll give you a chance to actually say a message through that subscription notification, okay? Usually, it takes at least a few minutes to sometimes as long as a few hours for that thing to pop up and give you the option to do it. And it also depends on what you're viewing on. I don't know if you're on a desktop computer or if you're on a mobile. It's different timing and stuff. So don't be discouraged if it doesn't work right away. But it should eventually pop up and give you the opportunity to say something nice, you know, during the subscription notification as well. All right. If it doesn't at all pop up, then I would say contact Twitch support and asked them what's going on. I really wanted to get a nice message for the streamer and didn't show up, and maybe they could fix that for you, okay? But essentially, I've heard this before, that sometimes it doesn't work right away. You have to wait a little bit, and then it'll show up. It's funny. Some people said, I subscribed like last week, and now the message popped up, so here it is. I'll just do it now. So, okay, guys. So, we have gotten through all the contributions now, finally. I know many of you are impatient. People are like, oh my god, the pre-stream was an hour long. Hey, guys, I was done talking around 20 minutes. It's all about the contribution, so thank you to everyone who did contribute. I appreciate that. Thanks for all your nice messages. All right, remember, best way to contribute today is to tip me, although the other ways are appreciated as well. And I think it's time. It's time to jump into Crash Team Racing. Let's see if we can beat Nitrous Oxide and then get to online play and see if we can have a fun session of online play today. Okay, guys? Fair enough? Sound good? Zolite, sound good? Now if someone says, you should just go use the bathroom now, too. Duh. Okay, let's take a nice break to go use the bathroom. No, actually, I don't have to. I don't have to today. So, okay. Wait, hold on a second. Amplatory 2 just resubscribed for 20 months. It says, my name is Kyle 2. Funny timing that someone named Kyle just subbed. Thank you, Amplatory 2, for that resub. I appreciate that very much. Very nice. We now have a bunch of sleeping frogs. You guys remember the game Sleeping Dogs? We have a bunch of sleeping frogs in the stream chat. They're all asleep. They fell asleep. Alrighty then. Let's see here. Shout out to Pyro Cynical 1 who cheered. Says, I don't know why people complain about the pre-stream to this day. People don't appreciate informative talk. As I've said, the pre-stream for me is like a podcast every day. That's why I like the pre-stream. We get to talk about stuff. We get to get information, you know, that gets, you know, discussed and spread, and so people know what's going on with me, and we get to get stuff fleshed out. I get a lot of good ideas on pre-stream. The whole idea about the Amazon wishlist came from a pre-stream, you know. A lot of the things that happen on stream are a result of us having a fun discussion on pre-stream. Some people are just incredibly impatient. I don't know what else to say. That's just the truth. My main man just cheered to say, keep talking. All right. Thank you very much, my main man. I will keep talking. The Paradox just cheered a 95-bit cheer. Said, the last boss is easy. Don't worry about that. My name is Kyle, too. Laughing out loud. Well, Paradox, apparently that's not the truth. I've heard the last boss is incredibly tough. Kyle just tipped me $6 and said, DSP is our guy, based and red-pilled Phil. So Kyle is now the top tipper of the day. We got to get Kyle up on the leaderboard, everybody. Let's do that. Thank you for the $6 tip, Kyle. Let's see here. It's up to $33 in tips. Thank you guys very much so far today. My main man just cheered. I said, how is Cat, Phil? Cat is good. Cat is very well. Thank you for asking. You know, don't really have much to talk about in that regard. Nothing, you know, nothing really going on. But she's good. Thanks for asking. Okay. All right, everyone. Looks like that's all the contributions for... Wait a minute. The God just tipped me $1 and says, here's $1 because you still think that money is the end-all and be-all when it comes to life. You'll find out the hard way. So according to the God, he thinks that I think that money is the end-all, be-all of life. That money is the great commanding factor. Well, there's a few things to say about that. Number one, there's a saying. First we get the money, then we get the power. But that's from a stupid, dramatic movie. In reality, before all this shit happened to me over the years, you know, YouTube's crash, trolling, fucking with my business and making, you know, my YouTube channel become unprofitable, etc. When money wasn't a factor, I could do whatever I wanted. I would play whatever games I wanted. I would do whatever the hell I wanted. I would go to conventions and do fan service and do events where I gave away consoles and games and shit constantly when I could afford to do it. Then when I couldn't afford to do it and I needed help from viewers, immediately I somehow became the worst person on the internet and an evil e-beggar. When in reality, the only reason I ever had to do that was because people fucked with me. If people never fucked with me, I never would have got to the position I'm in anyway. Not to say that it's not my fault, because there's many bad financial decisions and things I made over the years that got me into a bad position too. But essentially, it's kind of a 50-50 split here. The people who hate me the most caused me to be in the position to be an e-beggar. And now that I accept these online donations and give shout-outs for them, now they could criticize me for being an e-beggar, even though they're the reason I'm in that position. So it's incredibly hypocritical that anyone would ever criticize me for that regardless, okay? Now, in reality, the God, you say that money is the end-all be-all for me. Completely incorrect. If that were the case, I would never be playing a JRPG. I would never be playing games that aren't hype. Like, right now, if I were all about the money, immediately when someone said, dude, Bloodstained's hot on Twitch, play it, I would have dropped everything I was doing and played Bloodstained. Okay? Immediately, when people were like, dude, when this is hot, that's hot, I would just drop everything I'm doing to do the hot thing. Alright? I would jump on every trend. I would dress up like a character on stream. I would do every little thing to make an extra dollar. I would sell out completely, which many streamers have done. I have done any of that. I remain true to myself, and that's why people come back to watch me. Not because I'm some fucking sellout shill who only cares about money. So, the God, thank you for that dollar tip. You're completely off base, incorrect, and you have been destroyed on stream. Thanks. Oda Kamra Wazan tipped me $1. Says rumors say Crash did his sister once. That's completely disgusting, and I don't want to hear that. So please keep that information to yourself. Okay. Kyle in 24 FPS just tipped me $7.50. It said based DSP. So someone named Kyle, 24 FPS, just tipped me $7.50. Wait a minute. Didn't delete his name fully. There we go. Thank you very much for that. And so that is 7. Let's see here. Then MTC dude tipped me $1. So why didn't I play Atelier Rorona? Because it's a game that no one would care about. So it's $9.50. We'll just say, let's just say $10 extra. Well, actually, let's say $9 because that's more accurate. All right. There we go. We're up to $43 in tips today, everybody. All right. Thank you guys very much for all. Oh, hold on. My main man just choosed it. What is it about the game you don't like? Just curious. What game? I don't even know what you're talking about, my main man. What game are you referencing? Oh, there is no Amazon wishlist yet, Modern Day Maharaja. I didn't do it. Like I said, I'm going to probably look into it tomorrow. Okay. I forgot the Ian Kyle. Oh, fuck. You're right, I did. I got to fix that. Hold on. Shit. There we go. Fixed. Corrected. My main man says Crash Racing. Okay. 2 things I don't like about Crash Racing. Number 1, normal difficulty is way too hard. Normal difficulty should be an opportunity for you to play through the game and learn the game mechanics slowly. And then if you want to go back and re-challenge the game at a harder difficulty to get good at the game, you could. Normal difficulty should not be you have to master the game, never make a mistake, power slide, and boost through the entire stage to even beat the normal shit. It's just unbalanced as hell. Number 2, the game cheats. The computer enemies literally get advantages you don't. For example, if you hit them with an item, they continue to move forward and keep forward momentum. If you get hit by an item, you come to a standstill. Once they recover from being hit, they immediately start at maximum speed when they start driving. You don't. So just a few examples of things that are completely unfair with the AI in the game. That's what I don't like about the game. Okay? There you go. All right. That is it, ladies and gentlemen. Wait. Oh, hold on. Philly Buckeye just did a 50-bit cheers to keep the pre-stream going. List your 3 favorite things about They Call Me Jim Bob. He's a fan. He's a longtime viewer. And he's usually respectable in the stream chat. He doesn't really attack other people and cause problems. And he's a cool dude. There you go. The Old Node just tipped me $7.75. He says, do you think the wish list will help you get back to some type of financial stability, or will more relief from us be needed? Well, let me put it this way. It'll help. Will it massively fix all my problems? Of course not. But at least I think it would help in the fact that if the wish list is successful and basically it ends up covering most of my my cost of games for the business, that would allow me to take contributions and focus more on bills, and it would help out in that regard. So it would help. Would it solve everything? Of course not. But of course it would help. So thank you. You're the top tipper, by the way. My main man just cheers to keep talking. Thank you for the cheer. Wen's manager, not Wendy's manager, which I think they intended to type, but Wen's manager tipped $1 and says, gotta mix that kibbles and bits with the Wendy's chili. Oh. Ooh. You thought that was meat. Kibbles and bits, baby. Yuck. Peter Griffin also tipped me $1 and said, oh my God, Lois. All right, well, thank you for that tip. What is going on? I don't know what's going on, but we got to keep giving shout-outs, guys. Bent Boxer cheered and said, what is your 3 favorite things about Bent Boxer? Let's see. He sometimes says funny, pertinent things about games that I'm playing on stream. He's a positive contributor to the streams. And he boxes. I don't know. I don't have a third one. Kyle tipped $8. Thank you, Kyle, for an $8 tip. Now you're the top tipper of the day, Kyle. You've overcome everybody else. Thank you. Good Lord. I don't think this pre-stream's ever going to end at this rate. Thank you very much, everyone, for this very supportive, positive pre-stream. I appreciate it. Let's keep going. Let's see here. Carrie Diamond tipped me $1. Says, the rap album is coming out tomorrow with samples of you in it. Are you ready? No, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. But thank you for the $1 tip regardless. Bionichu tipped me $1. He says, for perspective, Phil, I 100% of the original Crash Team Racing. I could not beat the first race on hard mode in 30 attempts. Ouch. That's tough. See, so I'm getting a mixed signal. Some people are telling me the game is just as difficult as the original, and some people are saying, no, the game's harder than the original. I don't know. I don't know who to believe. Then again, I didn't play the original. I guess it doesn't really matter. For me, it's just perspective of how hard it is for me, and for me, it's fucking tough. Okay? All right, guys. It now looks like things have calmed down. All right? Things have calmed down. It's now time. It looks like we're going to end the pre-stream, and we're actually going to get to the game. Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled. We're going to take on the final boss here first. And then if and when I beat... Wait a minute! My main man cheered and says that Howard says something about a broken joystick. I don't know anything about a broken joystick, dude. You're talking about shit that's probably like 7 years ago now. I have no recollection of it. I don't give a fuck. Howard made his intentions known in 2015 that he never wanted to be friends with me or talk to me ever again, so I don't give a fuck about anything about him, period. So there you go. Alright, so it looks like we're going to end the pre... Wait a minute! I received a $2 tip from Death Grips saying I'm in your area. Great. Sounds good. Whatever the fuck that's supposed to mean. Thanks for the $2 tip. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time to end the pre-stream. Alright? Because the contributions have ended. No more shout-outs. Thank you. We're going to finish off this final boss, Nitrous Oxide. I don't know how long it's going to take me. And then, wait a minute! Bad Vice Podcast cheered and said, if we never stop the pre-stream, you won't have to play this shitty game. Well, I guess that's true. But I do feel that it is going to actually calm down. Wait a minute! M5 NSX just tipped me $10 and said, Phil, have a great week. Thank you, M5 NSX. You are the top tipper of the day now. Let me get you up on the leaderboard. Thank you very much. We're now up to $74 in tips. And now, wait a minute. We got Odakamra Wosan to be another $1. So can you pretty please play? Well, you know, the policy is I have to give a shout-outs for every contribution. So once the contributions finally dry up, then we can stop and I can play. But I have to keep giving shout-outs for the contributions coming in. So wait a minute. Wait a minute. Just tip me $1. Someone named Wait a Minute actually just tipped me $1. And then MC Rye just tipped me $1, said, got, I got the fever. Whatever the hell that means. So thank you for that. We're now up to $77 in tips. Thank you, everybody. My main man just cheered again and said, keep talking. Well, as I said, if you keep contributing, I'll keep talking. But once it finally calms down here, wait a minute. The old node just tipped $11. That's the top tip of the day. He says, laughing my ass off. The trolls are so angry I'm donating. Haha, enjoy, buddy. Thank you very much to the old node for the $11 tip. You're the top tipper of the day. Let's get you up on the leaderboard. Oh my god. Things are getting out of control here, folks. So that gets us up to $88 in tips so far today. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate that very much. Old node, the current top tipper right now, at $11. Okay? And, of course, DevKit with that 400-bit cheer from earlier. Thank you for that. Alright, guys. It is now time to... Wait a minute! Kyle just tipped me another $11 and says, make ASMR videos, please, based DSP. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to go out of my comfort zone of gaming to do ASMR like some people have done. However, Kyle, I would say you're the top tipper of the day. Sadly, you're not, because the old node beat you to the $11 tip. So actually, you are tied, but that means old node will stay on the leaderboard for the top tip of $11. Sorry about that, Kyle. But thank you for the $11 tip. We're now almost up to $100 in tips. Holy shit. Thank you very much. Okay, my main man just cheered. He says, wear your glasses for stream. You're supposed to. The only thing I'm supposed to wear glasses for is distance. Meaning, if I'm driving and I'm on the highway and I need to see way down the highway to read road signs or see cars far off, that's what the glasses are for. Essentially, the glasses will not help me whatsoever in my office because I can see everything in my office. You know, it wouldn't help me at all. But thank you for the cheer. Oh, let's see here. Knows Nobody just did a 100-bit cheer and said, let's get this pre-stream going. Thank you, Knows Nobody, for the 100-bit cheer. I'm pretty sure the pre-stream's been going. Kyle just tipped me $12. I said, put me on the top tipper, baby. Well, thank you, Kyle. You're now the top tipper with that $12 tip. You have surpassed the old note. Let's get Kyle up on the leaderboard, guys. Here we go. Thank you, Kyle, for the $12 tip. We're now up to $111 in tips. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Holy crap. Don't ask me what's going on. I had no idea this kind of crazy stuff was going to happen on pre-stream, but certainly it's appreciated, guys. This helps a ton. Thank you very much to everyone who's contributing here on the pre-stream. Okay. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, it now appears the contributions have finally, calmed down a bit. All right. It is now time for me to end the pre-stream, and it's time for me to begin with Crash Team Racing Night. Oh, wait a minute. Vote Democrat just did a 50-bit cheer and said, look here, start playing the game. All right, indeed I will. Once I can stop giving shout-outs, which it looks like now, finally, things have calmed down. So, final boss of Crash Team Racing, however long it takes. Then we'll switch over if there's time to multiplayer. And this is probably going to be my final stream of Crash Team. Wait a minute. I just received a $1 tip from Wait a Minute. So thank you very much to Wait a Minute, who tipped me $1. I appreciate that. We're now up to $112 in tips. Woo! All right, guys. Now, I believe it's now finally time. Things have calmed down. I think now it's time we can finally start with Crash Team Racing. All right? So thanks to everyone for the contributions. I appreciate that very much. And now, wait a minute. Vote Democrat just cheered and said, wait a minute. Thank you very much to Wait a Minute. No, wait a minute. No, thanks to Vote Democrat for saying wait a minute and cheering 50 bits. I appreciate that. Also, thank you to Death Grips, who tipped me $1 and said, why a bitch gotta lie? Why a bitch gotta lie? And he did it about 400 times. I don't even know what that means, but thank you for the $1 tip. I appreciate that. All right. All right, guys. Looks like the pre-stream is now going to end. Let's go. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Eternal Napalm just tipped me $2 and said, have a few more bucks. Thank you, Eternal Napalm, for the $2 tip. I appreciate that. Holy splamoles. I wonder if this will be the longest pre-stream ever. I'm trying to remember what my longest pre-stream ever was. I don't know. I don't record this stuff. But, like I said, this has basically been an hour of shout-outs at this point. Okay, now it looks like things have finally calmed down, everyone. Thank you very much. I appreciate all... Wait a minute. Solid Fantasy just tipped me $1 asking, what are your 3 favorite things about me? Let's see. Number 1, you're into movies just like me. Number 2, you're a longtime viewer and supporter. And number 3, you have a good sense of humor. There you go. Thank you very much for the $1 tip, Solid Fantasy. The Real UFC Wolverine has resubscribed for 2 months. Thank you for the 2-month resub, Real UFC Wolverine. And Death Grips tipped me another $1 and says, Death Grips is online. Very nice. Thank you for the $1 tip, Death Grips. Okay. Now I think it's time. Wait a minute. Crash Team, excuse me. Cody Carl just did a 50-bit cheer. He says, has Crash Team Racing been the hardest racing game you've ever played, or have you played a harder one? Well, here's what I would say. The bottom line is, like, I used to be terrible, even worse than this. I mean, I know I'm not good at racing games now, but, I used to be way worse when I first started on YouTube. and I was playing games like MotorStorm Apocalypse and stuff, like, I had no racing chops besides, like, Mario Kart from the 90s. You know what I mean? So, at least now, over the last 10 years, every once in a while, I play a racing game. So, at least now, like, I never would have been able to even get as far as I have in this game. If I had played this game at the very beginning of my YouTube career, I probably wouldn't have gotten halfway through it. Seriously. I would say it's the hardest racing game I've played in the modern era, you know, this last 5-6 years for sure. Hold the phone. Just tip me $1. Thank you very much to Hold the Phone for $1 tip. I appreciate that. Up to $118 in tips. I don't know what's going on today. Vote Democrat just cheered and says, let's do a 2-hour pre-stream, boys, for the lulz. All right, thank you for the cheer. Vote Democrat. My main man, cheered a 50-bit cheers to tell us the Wolverine Toy Story again. Once upon a time, there was a movie named Toy Story where Woody and the pal, you know, Woody and Buzz and everyone were having fun. Then Wolverine was purchased by young Andy's parents, and Wolverine just viciously slaughtered all of them with his adamantium claws. The end. That's the story. Kill Bill cheered. He says, I would say Need for Speed Payback was your hardest racing game. Hoping you play the new Need for Speed coming out this year. I didn't even know there was one coming out this year. I guess I'll have to look into that. Real American History tipped me $1. It says, if it wasn't for Africa, you wouldn't be here. All right, fair enough. Thank you for the $1 tip. I think Africa is like where all life came, all human life came from, actually. So he may actually be scientifically correct and historically correct. Ivana Bendover did 100-bit cheers. Says, do you feel weird the way you make money is the same way a cam girl makes money? No, because it's not. People contribute to me because I put out an entertaining service of gameplay, commentary, interactions. Cam girls do it just for the looks, you know. Very different thing. Okay, so there you go. I actually have to work and earn. They just were born with looks. A very different situation. All right, Death Grips tipped me another $1 and said, I close my eyes and seize it. I clench my fists and beat it. I light my torch and burn it. I am the best beast I worship. It must be some kind of lyrics. Thank you very much for another $1 tip. If you guys can believe it, we're up to $120 in tips and I haven't played the game yet. Main Man cheered. He says, have you ever considered forgetting about gameplay and just doing a podcast from now on? It would be successful. I've done that. I've done podcasts, you know, in the past. You know? I mean, let's be honest here. Interactive streams, the streams that I do at night, in reality, are kind of more interactive. You know, Minecraft tonight, tomorrow, Black Ops 4 Blackout. Those are interactive streams, not really for the gameplay. They're more for me just interacting with people. So essentially, I do that multiple times a week. It just has gameplay involved too. That's all. See you later, Derek. Tip me $1. Thank you to See You Later, Derek, for $1 tip. I appreciate that. Uncle John from Jamaica. Tip me $1. If you don't think money's the end-all, be-all, why don't you play an Atelier game? Because I'm not interested in them. They seem incredibly long, grindy, and boring. And I don't care about them. That's why. Romy Rowe has resubscribed for 16 months. Thank you, Romy Rowe, for the 16-month resub. I appreciate that. M5NSX tipped me $1 and said, wait a minute. All right, well, thank you very much. All right, thank you very much for that $1 tip. Appreciate that. Vote Democrat just cheered and was kissing some streamer named Amaranth's ass. I don't know anything about this streamer. I'm not going to address this because I don't want to stir up drama. So thank you for the cheer, but I'm not going to bring that up. I don't know anything about them. I'm not going to start talking about that and get all people worked up in the stream chat about shit I don't know about. So there you go. All right. I definitely think it's now time to end the pre-stream. Contributions have finally dried up, it looks like. We're calming down. Let's start with crowd. Wait a minute. We got a cheer from Mammy Man. He says, and keep talking. All right. Well, thank you for the cheer, Main Man. All right. Looks like we're now going to end the pre-stream. And we're going to begin with Crash Team Racing. We're going to finish up the campaign or adventure mode. And then we're going to go online. Fair enough, guys? All right. To finally end this pre-stream. And we can... Wait a minute. Cody Carls' cheers says, Kat played any Crash games before. Honestly, I don't know. I think she had mentioned she did play one of the Crash games before at one point, but I can't actually remember which, you know, what she had actually told me. So, all right. Ivana Bendover just did a 500-bit cheer. That makes them the top cheerer of the day. It says top cheer height. Thank you to Ivana Bendover. Let me get you here on the leaderboard. Shit. Thank you for the 500 bits. That's much appreciated. And Death Grips tipped me $1 and said Death Grips is an American experimental hip-hop band from California. Formed in 2010. They consist of a vocal... Well, it's a bunch of things about the vocalist and stuff. I'm not going to read that. Thank you. But now we know that it's actually a hip-hop band. Now we know what we're talking about. Vote Democrat Trees at 2.5 minutes to break a 2-hour pre-stream. Tell us a quick story to achieve this milestone. No. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. It is now time to end the pre-stream and start with Crash Team Racing. I thank you all for all these contributions. They are much appreciated. Wait a minute. My main man Cheaty said, would you be reported for having too long of a pre-stream? No, it doesn't violate anything on Twitch whatsoever. At all. It's perfectly fine. No worries. As I said, you don't have to worry about that shit. I know what I'm doing on Twitch. I've been here for quite some time. I know what I'm doing. I know what's allowed and what's not. This is no problems, okay? I Like Turtles just tipped me $1. Thank you, I Like Turtles, for the $1 tip. That gets us up to $125 in tips so far today. Thank you, guys. All right. That is it. The pre-stream is now officially... Wait a minute. Cam Jersey just cheered and said, because of this pre-stream, you're not allowed to break today. That's completely incorrect. If I need to break, I'll break. If I have to piss, I'll piss. If I have to shit, I'll shit. If I gotta take a shit, I will take that shit. This is part of the stream. It counts. The old no just tipped me $13 and said, wait a minute. Happy my 6-month ban was removed. Whoever that was, enjoy life, Phil. Yeah, I don't know why you were banned. I don't know, anything about that. But welcome back, the old node, and thank you. Top tip. $13. That now gets us up to $138 in tips today. Thank you very much. Wait a minute. Kyle just tipped $15 and said, I love Death Grips. So now Kyle is the current top tipper of the day. Let's get Kyle up on the leaderboard again. Good Lord. What a tipping war we have today. Seriously. So this is $153 in tips now today. Good Lord. Thank you, everyone, for your support. Seriously. Thank you, thank you. Okay. Now it is time to end the pre-stream. Thank you, everyone, for your contributions. It is now time to attempt to defeat nitrous oxide. All right. Thank you, guys. Let's end the pre-stream, and let's begin. Here we go.